Man, listen, today we're going to talk about the BlueVine SBA approved Paycheck Protection Program forgivable loan application. Say that 5 times fast. We're going to walk through all 16 components of the application, and I'm going to show you page by page by page how I submitted my own application through BlueVine and got it submitted successfully. I am not being paid by BlueVine to make this video. I'm simply speaking from experience that BlueVine is within my top 3 financial institutions for submitting this application. Are you ready to get started? If so, do me a favor and kiss the like button with your finger and make sure to subscribe to my channel. Now, before we jump right into the application, it's important for us to understand who BlueVine is. BlueVine is a financial services company that was started back in 2013. To date, they help small business owners either get funding, lines of credit, and also support services. They have loaned up to $9+ billion worth of funding, and they have served over 200,000 plus small businesses. Recently, they partnered with SBA in order to administer the Paycheck Protection Program. Now, BlueVine is not a bank. However, they're able to provide banking services through a partnership with Bancorp. Through Bancorp, that means that any small business who chooses to create an account with them can be insured up to $250,000 through FDIC. Now, when you submit your Paycheck Protection Program forgivable loan application, you will not be creating an account with BlueVine, or you will not be creating a financial account with BlueVine. You will simply be submitting your application using BlueVine as a vehicle in which to get that application reviewed by the U.S. Small Business Administration. One last thing. I did additional digging on BlueVine because I don't know about you, before I share my account information, my routing information, social security number, employer identification number, I want to know who you are and what other people say about you. And what I found is that BlueVine, based on customer reviews, have received 4.2 out of 5 stars for customer service, customer delivery on products, and also just for their interface for their website. It's really cute, and most importantly, it's functional and easy to understand. So with that being said, are you ready to jump into the application? I am. Let's go. In order to follow along with me, keep this YouTube video up and open BlueVine.com. I'm gonna say that one more time. Open BlueVine.com. Once you get to BlueVine.com, you want to look to the left of the website and you want to select that you want to apply for the Paycheck Protection Program loan. This is going to pull up a home page, and it's going to ask you if you've applied for the PPP loan previously. And it's going to give you 3 options. It's going to ask, have you applied for a PPP loan using BlueVine? Have you applied for a PPP loan with another financial institution? Or if you've never applied for a PPP loan ever, and this is your first time. If you have submitted a PPP loan through BlueVine, it's going to ask you to sign in. But if you submitted a PPP loan through another financial institution, or you've never submitted a PPP loan before, it's going to prompt you for some information so they can sign you in. This is going to include your email address and also your first and last name, and you're also going to have to create a password. You're also going to have to create a password and also agree to their terms and conditions. Let's keep going. Next, they're going to ask you for some information about yourself. They're going to ask for your business name. So if you have a limited liability company, a corporation, a nonprofit organization, you have already registered your name with your state and also with federal agency, right? So they already know your business name and you should submit it. But if you're a sole proprietor or you're an independent contractor, this might trip you up a bit. You might say, I don't have a business name, I just do business as myself. So for your business name, if you don't have one, just put your full legal name. Whatever it is that you were named on your government documents, right? Yes, I said government with a V, government documents, you want to put that on there. Next, it's going to ask for your trade name. Now, there are some sole proprietors. That just means, again, you transact business, but you have not filed as a limited liability company. You have not filed as an LLC, an LLP, a corporation, or a nonprofit. You may be a sole proprietor that has a DBA. And what DBA stands for is doing business as. So you may be Professor Keys doing business as Crinkly Q Hair Salon, okay? So if you are doing business as, and then there's a business name, put that business name down. But again, let's say that your legal name, your business name is Curly Q Hair Salon. More than likely your trade name is Curly Q Hair Salon. But for some people, your business name is your legal name and your trade name is also your legal name. I don't want that to be a disqualifier for, again, independent contractors and sole proprietors who do business but don't have an LLC and therefore want to be able to apply for this benefit. Okay, let's keep going. Next, the application is going to ask for your business address. Now, this can be answered in one or two ways. For most business entrepreneurs, your business address is your home address. As long as your home address is not a P.O. box, you can go ahead and put that address into the box. And then for other entrepreneurs, specifically limited liability companies, limited liability partnerships, also some corporations, you may have a registered agent. And a registered agent is an entity that takes care of making sure that you file your paperwork on time. They're available 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, to answer any questions that may come from the state. If you have a registered agent, you want to make sure that you go ahead and put their address into this field. Also, let's say you're watching this and you have a brick and mortar. You want to make sure to put that business address in this form. Next, they're going to ask for your work phone number. Just put a phone number where they can contact you in the event that they have questions. Next, they're going to ask for your tax ID or your EIN, okay? We're going to start with EIN first. That is your employer identification number. So this is a number that the IRS would have assigned to you when you submitted information about your business on the irs.gov website, or perhaps you paid someone else to do that for you. Here's the thing, and I want you to listen to me here. There are some people watching this video that were doing business in 2019 or even before 2019. And maybe you were doing that as a business that did not have an EIN. Now let's say that you heard a video and you heard that they were asking for EINs for the PPP. So you decided to register for one after February 15, 2020. I don't want you to input an EIN that you registered for after February 15, 2020, because it may be misconstrued that you have a new business when in fact you were operating before that date. If you were operating before the deadline of February 15, 2020, put your social security number if you did not have an EIN. Next, it's going to ask for your annual revenue. If your business was operating in 2019 and you are a sole proprietor or an independent contractor, I want you to pull your Schedule C profit loss form that you filed in tax year 2019. And I want you to look at your gross income. Next up is entity type. Okay, so this is going to help them classify what type of business you are. They're going to ask, are you a sole proprietor? Again, a sole proprietor is somebody who just does business and reports their business income on their taxes, but they are not an LLC, an LLP, a corporation, a nonprofit organization. Also, they're going to ask if you're an independent contractor. Independent contractors can be Uber drivers. They can be Lyft drivers. They can be DoorDash drivers. They can contract their services through Handy to come and put stuff together in your home. They're also going to ask, are you an LLC? Are you an LLP? Are you an S corporation? Are you a C corporation? Are you a nonprofit organization? And if so, what 501c are you? Are you a 501c3 or are you a 501c19? You still with me? Well, we are rocking and rolling, right? So the next question is, who are your customers? Drop the beat. So they're gonna ask you, who are your customers? Are your customers small businesses? So do small businesses pay you for your services and for your products, right? Or it's gonna ask, perhaps your customers are consumers and private individuals. So those are people that pay you for your services and not businesses that pay you for your services. Perhaps corporations are your clients, right? You serve a Fortune 100 or Fortune 500 and they cut you a check, right? They put some respect on your check when they pay you. or perhaps you don't have any customers at all, in which case you want to select that box. And the question that BlueVine will probably have for you is, how do you have business income but you don't have any customers? And sometimes there's an answer for that, but you want to make sure that you are truthful in your response, okay? Now, if you don't have customers because you haven't made any sales, then you probably cannot get this loan. The reason why is that this loan is supposed to replace payroll costs. This loan is supposed to replace compensation that you would have made as a self-employed individual, as a sole proprietor. The next question is about financing. They're going to ask if you receive lines of credit or loans from other financial institutions or banks. And the reason why they want to know this is when it comes down to determining if you get forgiveness on the other side, they want to make sure that you're not using PPP funding in order to fulfill your debt obligations with another financial institution. So you want to make sure that you're transparent about this, and you also want to make sure that if you're awarded the PPP forgivable loan, that you don't use those resources to pay back debt. The next page is a really important page. And I want you to pay attention to all of the questions that they ask you. The name of the page is qualifying questions. And your answers are going to determine if you can go to the next page of the application and continue applying for the PPP grant. The questions that they're going to ask you on this page is, did you receive a shuttered venue grant? Are you the president, the vice president, a member of Congress, or are you married to one? They put a ring on it, right? Oh, they put a ring on it. Let me use right hand. They're going to ask if you've ever filed for bankruptcy. They're going to ask if you're a publicly traded company. They're going to ask if you're a nonprofit news company. And if you're a nonprofit news company, they're going to specifically ask if you get these PPP funds, are you going to use it to communicate information that's happening on the local level or communicate information about emergencies? They're also going to ask, are you a publicly traded company? So if you IPO'd, if you had an initial public offering and people can go buy shares from your company on the New York Stock Exchange, the same way that they buy shares from Amazon or even Tesla, you'll check that. But for most small business owners, this is not you. You are not publicly traded. They're going to ask, are you doing any illegal gaming? They're also going to ask if you are a household employer, specifically as it relates to employing nannies who live in your house. Again, you want to make sure that you pay attention to the answers that you submit on this page. The reason why, if you select an answer that disqualifies you, you're going to see this page. And this page essentially means that you answered a question that disqualified you and you can no longer move forward in the application. It won't allow you to go back on the BlueVine application and correct your answer. In fact, if you are disqualified and you mistakenly answered the wrong question, so you said you were the president of the United States and you're not indeed Joseph Biden, then what you'll need to do is start the application all over again, but you'll have to use a different email address, and then you'll have to do it all over again and make sure that you're more careful next time. If you've answered all the questions and you qualify to move forward, then guess what? You'll see this page. Congratulations! You made it past the disqualifying questions. Next up, BlueVine is going to ask you for your account number and your routing number. You want to put down the account information where you want to receive the Paycheck Protection Program forgivable loans if you're approved by the SBA. And then they're going to ask you for your bank statements. Make sure that that bank statement has the same account and routing information that you input in the previous question. They're also going to ask you for a February 2020 financial statement. So you want to log into your business bank account. If you do not have a business bank account, but let's say that you've been doing business out of just a personal checking account, you want to download your February 2020 financial statement that shows the transactions that you made during this month. This is another filter question. If you did not start your business before February 15, 2020, then what that means is that this opportunity is not for you. If you were not owning, operating, and making sales before February 15, 2020, again, the Paycheck Protection Program is not for you. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. So, I hope y'all harmonize on that. Next, they're gonna ask you for some demographic information. They're gonna ask you for your name again. I know they did that when you were signing in and creating an account, but they're gonna ask you for your name. They're gonna ask you for your date of birth, your social security number. So make sure you enter that information and also enter it accurately. Next, they're gonna ask about your percentage of ownership. If you own 100% of your business, put it there. If you own or have other people in your business who own 20% or more of the business, then they're going to ask for additional information. In fact, the SBA mandate said if there are other people in your business that own more than 20% of the enterprise, that you provide their tax ID numbers as well. The next question is about the NAICS code. So that's NAICS. The NAICS code. And what the NAICS code does is it allows you as a business owner to classify in which industry you do business. So you want to make sure to look through the different industries, and the great thing about BlueVine is that it provides you industries in a drop-down list. Select the industry that's most applicable to yours. BlueVine will then get into your business and ask if you're a seasonal employer. You can check yes or no, and if so, it's going to ask for clarifying dates in which season you operate. Is it the Christmas season? Fa la 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 la. Is it the Halloween season? Boo! Did I scare you? So you want to make sure you indicate whether or not you are a seasonal employer. Then it's going to ask, aside from payroll, what will you be using the Paycheck Protection Program for? I don't want you to get tripped out because you see the word payroll, right? I understand how important words are. But here, if you do not have a payroll and you do not have employees, do not think that you're going to be disqualified. Again, right now, I'm speaking to sole proprietors and independent contractors. You don't have a payroll. It is just you. 1 is the magic number. You are earning your income as a self-employed individual. Some of you all also work in W-2. So you're working 9 to 5, but you're also, right, you have your business on the side. You don't have a payroll. Again, it's just you. So I want you to say you're strictly going to be using the money for payroll. And what payroll is for self-employed solo entrepreneurs that do not have employees is simply compensation replacement. Okay, we almost there. We getting to the money. Everybody mad. Come on, please. So next up, they're going to ask you, what is your average monthly payroll? Right now, I'm going to speak specifically to those business entrepreneurs that do not have employees. You're going to pull your Schedule C from your 2019 tax returns. You're going to look at your line 7, all right? Your line 7, your gross income. You're going to take that number. You're going to divide it by 12. Then whatever that number is, you're going to input here. Next, they're going to ask, where do your employees reside? You don't have any employees, then guess what? It's all about where you reside. They want to know that where you reside. If you reside in the United States of America, then you want to make sure to click the box and indicate if that much is true. They're also going to ask that you certify that your business was in operation before February 15, 2020. The next question they're going to ask if you received an economic injury disaster loan between January and April. Now, it's important that you distinguish the difference between an economic injury disaster loan cash advance and the economic injury disaster loan. I have been reading my comments, and what I'm seeing is that people confuse the two. The EIDL cash advance was a grant that was wired to you that you do not have to pay back, okay? If you receive that cash advance, it was deposited into your account and it was not a loan. You either received $1,000 or all the way up to $10,000. That was a grant. Full stop, hard stop. Then there are some people who received the cash advance up to $10,000 and they also accepted the economic injury disaster loan. The loan you do have to pay back. This is what this question is referring to. They're referring to the loan that you have to pay back to the Small Business Administration at an interest rate that was communicated to you, okay? You want to make sure that you indicate that. And the reason why is they want to make sure that you do not use your PPP funds to pay back your economic injury disaster loan. So check that box if you have that loan. If you have a cash advance, do not check that box. Hope you felt that. The next few questions are easy peasy. The great thing about this application is based on the information that you submit, they're going to automatically calculate what they believe your loan amount to be. And you'll be able to see it in the application. And next, they're going to ask you about more demographic information. Are you a veteran? What is your race? What is your ethnicity? What is your gender? You do not have to fill out this application, but it just helps the government understand to what extent they were able to serve a diverse population and be able to get dollars in their hands. We're nearing the end of the application. Y'all gonna see that I love this thing. They're gonna ask you to certify that all of what you just submitted is true and accurate. If it's true and accurate, you wanna make sure that you go ahead and you certify that. And then you're down to the final stretch. They're gonna ask you to upload proof of your self-employed income. If you are a sole proprietor, an independent contractor, a single member LLC, this is going to be your Schedule C. If you are a different type of business owner, so you own a corporation or you own a partnership or you own a nonprofit organization, you will submit different paperwork. For a nonprofit organization, you're going to submit your 990, your Form 990, right? If you earn less than $50,000 as a nonprofit, then you e-filed, right? So you want to go to the IRS.gov website, you want to find the Form 990 e-file postcard and upload that as your proof. For corporations that have payroll, you have different documentation. Next, they're gonna ask for proof of payroll. Again, if you are a business owner that does not have employees and you own an LLC, a sole proprietorship, an independent contractor, you classify yourself as a self-employed individual, you will not have payroll, and your payroll will indeed be your Schedule C, your profit loss form from 2019, your January, February numbers from 2020. I hope that this was useful to you. I hope that you learned a lot. Don't be discouraged. The great thing is if you get denied, they will contact you and they will tell you the reason why. And if you are denied and there's something in your application that you can fix in order to make you eligible, they will tell you that too. So if, for example, for me, I had put my employer identification number in a place where I was supposed to submit my social security number and they gave me an opportunity to resubmit. I hope that this video was super informative to you. If it was and you've gotten this far, make sure that you kiss the like button with your finger and press subscribe. That helps me get more views, that helps me reach more people who I can help, that helps with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps me with making more videos like this. Thank you so much, and until next time, I love you. Bye-bye.